Watch out for the sales team that try to sell you the dream of buying into the holiday home village and owning your own holiday home caravan. That's when my nightmare began. We purchased a holiday home and brand new decking in 2015. We paid in full, but Flamingo Land insists you have to use their named contractors to supply the decking. We had no involvement with the decking company. We were not on site when the decking was fitted. Flamingo Land had all the dealings with decking company, and they did not give us a date when it was to be fitted. When we next visited Flamingo Land, the decking had been fitted, but they had blocked access to the electrical hookup, so you would have to crawl under the decking commando style to access or reset your electrical unit. As they don't provide many AMPs of electric usage, they can trip off quite often. We were told by Flamingo Land that they would reposition the electrical box for easier access in 2015. The work has still not been done. Every year when we paid the rates, we would ask about this relocation being completed. We got lots of assurance from the Holiday Village staff year on year, broken promises that it would be done, just lip service as we paid the rates to them. Flamingo Land also acts as insurance agents, pushing their favorite insurance company to cover every issue you may face insurance-wise. If you don't purchase their recommended insurance and use another company, you have to pay Flamingo Land an admin fee. What's that about? Is that the money they lose by not taking up a policy they recommend? I always felt awkward going into the Holiday Village office to complain, as you would have to explain the whole thing from start to finish, what had been promised to be done by Flamingo Land, and also the implications of having to crawl on your belly under 7 feet of decking in a laden pool of water, with wet muddy hands and laying in inches of water, perfect conditions to be electrocuted. If you phone the main office to get someone to reset the trip switch, you have to go through the full story about why we cannot access it ourselves, due to the decking being fitted wrong and what needs to be done to reset it. Repeating this story every time we needed someone to reset this trip switch was very wearying. We are always told there is a call-out charge for it to be reset, that they will get to us ASAP as they are busy, which was always about 2 hours later. When staff did arrive, they would moan about having to crawl under decking in any weather conditions, especially when it had been raining and underneath was like a mud pit. In 2019, we sadly lost our mum, which was why we got the caravan, as she had been diagnosed with dementia before we bought the caravan. It was an immense loss to the family. Then COVID-19 struck. It was at that point I realized about how bad Flamingo Land had been to us after 2 years of grieving and many more to come. We were finally allowed on the resort as COVID-19 regulations had changed. I sent an email to the Holiday Village office as I wanted to make things more formal in 2021, as I realized that being nice, fair, and listening to lip service from different staff doesn't work. I got a reply from the deputy executive saying, "Sorry, the electrical work has not been done. I will get a works number and get it done this week." More broken promises. I have written to Flamingo Land explaining my plight, that I would no longer be able to crawl under the decking to reset the electrics, and could they address the issue, as I cannot sell the holiday home to anyone whilst the electric box is not accessible safely. I also asked them in many letters, recorded delivery, and emails to waiver any plot fees accrued while waiting for replies and relocation work to be carried out as promised by the deputy executive in 2021. Flamingo Land decided to play dirty and did not reply to any of my letters and emails requesting assistance with this matter. They replied 11 months later, letting my rates rack up after a year of writing to them for help. Their reply said, "Sorry it has taken so long for our reply, but this is the first we've heard of the decking issue over the electrical box," and asked me if I have any evidence that they said we would relocate the electrical box, as this is a big job. Well, if the email off the deputy executive isn't evidence, I don't know what is. I then sent them more emails to them. Again, I got no response. Then a reply comes from Flamingo Land. Once again it started, "Sorry for my late reply. We have looked at the electric box and found no issues, but when you next visit your holiday home, we can check your appliances inside to see if that is the issue of the electric tripping." Flamingo Land doesn't seem to be understanding that it's nothing to do with faulty appliances. It is the issue that you cannot reset the obstructed electrics safely. Flamingo Land then quoted for now they could waiver the call-out charge for reset till we sort your problem out with appliances. It would have been for them to waiver the plot fees, as the holiday home is not fit for purpose. I then told the family and the sales team at Flamingo Land I'd had enough of this stress, and did they want to buy the caravan back? The sales team said they were not buying any caravans back at that time. Try selling it privately. So I put it for sale online and got a fair bit of interest, but once they were told about the decking electrical box issue, buyers were put off, so it didn't sell. In October 2023, I started with a few health issues myself. I went to Flamingo Land with the family to collect some items and prepare the caravan for sale. We went to the Holiday Village office to ask about the electrical box relocation, and also see if it's the same guy we have to use to do our winter drain down. We got the usual lip service about the electrical box relocation, and was told yes, it was their same guy who does the drain downs for winter. If you've got his number, contact him yourself to arrange and see availability. I have a number of WhatsApp messages between the plumber and ourselves to instruct him to carry out the winter drain down. He replied, "All done, £55, can you send it to my private bank account rather than a business account?" I'm not sure if this has any relevance, but thought it was a bit weird when he works for Flamingo Land full-time. We paid in full as he asked, as he is a Flamingo employee that they recommend. I then was retired from work through ill health, so got some legal advice and was asked to get some footage and pics of the decking and electrical hookup position for evidence, etc. My brother drove to Flamingo Land in July 2025 after speaking with a legal representative that day. He arrived at 10 p.m. On entering the holiday home, he heard a hissing noise when he stepped in and thought it was the fridge making a noise. Then he realized it wasn't the fridge, so he opened the door in the kitchen area to the accommodation area only to be greeted with a horrendous smell of damp. All carpets were waterlogged, as well as mushrooms, fungi, and mold and water spraying out everywhere from the bathroom and out. Every bedroom ruined, my daughter's belongings destroyed, moldy bedding, everything ruined. My brother contacted security and got maintenance to turn the water off underneath the holiday home. This water should have been disconnected as part of the winter drain down in December 2023, so no water should be able to enter the holiday home, as the pipe should have been disconnected by the plumber. My brother took video evidence of the water damage and got photos of the electrical hookup and drove home the next morning. I then contacted the plumber and asked him for his public liability details, which he refused. I asked Flamingo Land for their insurance details, which again I was refused. It wasn't their problem, and they also would not give me the plumber's insurance details either. Someone has to take accountability for this damage, and seemingly neither Flamingo Land or the plumber want to. I did receive the following statement from Flamingo Land. Although the heating engineer plumber is indeed a member of staff, he does all work through his private company, and it was up to me to pursue him. How can a company stoop so low? I was gutted, to say the least. I thought, oh well, I'll claim off the insurance purchase through Flamingo Land. Little did I know what was coming. I contacted the insurance, and they sent a loss adjuster out who said the holiday home had not been winterized, so cannot pay claim. So if you're ever considering buying a holiday home from Flamingo Land, be very, very careful, as I have a letter from Flamingo Land stating I bought my brand new holiday home from a third party, and also the decking was not sold by them either, although all my receipts and payments have been made to Flamingo Land and no other third party. I have all the evidence to back up my claims. Think twice, guys. They totally fail their mission and their vision as below. Our mission. We're a fun place to escape and reconnect, where creative, excellent, and effortless families should share experiences while making magical memories. Their vision. To be the best family entertainment resort in the country. Big fail. I hope the people at their new project at Loch Lomond, Scotland are well prepared for this experience.